Hey y'all, so good to connect with you here. If you don't yet know me, my name is Astra, and I am a shaman and a teacher and the principal of Shamanic Empowerment School. And I work with the messengers of the new earth. In other words, the universal wisdom leaders who are the new tribe, the new breed of the Deepak Chopra's, the Louise Hayes, the Wayne Dyers, and all those guys who have been really bringing in a higher vibration for so many years. And and as we move into 2018 and we're really starting to construct and create what the new earth is shaping up to be, there's a whole new flock, as it were, of these spiritual teachers or these messengers. That's always been a theme for a long time that I've worked with the messengers, the healers, the coaches, the spiritual teachers, the spiritual authors and artists and musicians that are really here to support our tribes. You know, each one of us has our own unique tribe. I call them, like you guys are my true tribe, right? So each of us is here to support our true tribes in really letting go of the old earth, dense, heavy ways of being, the struggle mentality, the poverty mindsets, the beliefs of I'm not good enough, the tendency to look for happiness outside yourself, the tendency to believe what external sources or what other people tell you about yourself and your truth. So we're all here to really help ourselves and one another and help our true tribes step in to their personal power so that they can start to be who they are and live their truth and open up their throat chakras, right? And share their message with the world. So we're all sort of like the shamans for the messengers, or the messengers for the messengers, or both, each in our own unique ways. And so for the last few years or so, and I'm a channel for the universe, and this probably happens too as well. Every so often, like a message or a phrase, you know, or a concept will come through, and it'll start to kind of flow in, you know, fairly often, if I'm speaking or writing or just sort of meditating, thinking about, you know, creating my next service or whatever. And so in this case, a phrase started coming in fairly often, and the phrase is peaceful prosperity. And this really started to flow in a lot after, I would say probably, yeah, it started to kind of strike more often after Thanksgiving of not this past year and not last year, but the year before that. So Thanksgiving of 2015. And the circumstances around that correspond with the phrase peaceful prosperity, because what happened around then, it was a little bit before Thanksgiving, actually. My colleague had contacted me via email and said, you know, she was just having this breakdown and you know, feeling really scared about moving into her next step in her business, and like, who is she to think she can teach such and such, you know, and blah blah blah. So she was really having a lot of anxiety around stepping into her truth, stepping into her power, sharing her message. and being the message and being the love that she's here to be in the world. So we got on the phone together, and she was telling me all about this, and I was just like, calm down, breathe. I said, I can't remember what I said, something funny, like, dude, I was like, dude, chill. and so she calmed down, and what we both realized is, each in our own unique way, we had been, the reason she was allowing herself to get that worked up and worried and fearful about stepping into her next level of power. And then of course, we're all mirrors for each other, right? And then I realized that I do that too. The real reason was that we never thought we were good enough, because we were always putting pressure on ourselves to do more, act quickly on an idea, and make sure that if you're done with one thing, you move to the next thing, or maybe do more than one thing at a time. And it was just like really stressful. And it was that kind of old Wall Street in the 80s mentality of business, where it was like, work. And it's so ironic, because here we are, spiritual teachers and practices of meditation and energy healing, and among my colleagues and friends, there's Reiki practitioners, animal communicators, yoga instructors, vegetarian nutritionists, and shamans, obviously, like me, and the list goes on and on and on. Healers, empowerment coaches, wellness coaches, spiritual business coaches, and here we all are, in this kind of addicted to this way of being in business that is so the opposite of what we actually stand for and what our messages truly are. And we're sort of like acting in this very this space of divine masculine, but still very masculine, where it's like, do, act now, do it now. There's no success without struggle. There's, you have to be busy all the time, or you're not good enough, or you're, and there's a lot of competition and blah, 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 and all that stuff, which is completely like the antithesis, if that's the right term, of all that we stand for and all that we're actually here to be. So during that phone call, a huge transformation took place for my colleague and I, and I was just like, I won't stand for this any longer, right? In order to be a prosperous business owner as messengers of the new earth, there's no strife, there's no struggle. Do we have to do some work? Well, yeah, but we don't have to spaz out about it, right? In fact, it's much better if we don't spaz out about it. We feel, and I put myself on my own journey of inner peace. And I call it the peace leg of my empowerment journey, because there's 5 levels of empowerment and 5 aspects of empowerment. Now, peace is one of the aspects of empowerment. And I had gone on the legs of my empowerment journey that came before the peace one, but I hadn't really truly embarked on the peace one yet. So therein lies the beginning of my peace journey. And I made a commitment to myself that I would no longer, be that old stressful way, because it was taking a toll on me physically. And I could feel like my body was always locked up. My muscles were always locked up and rigid. And it was because of the energetic, mental, and emotional stress and strain that I was putting on myself about how I needed to be and act in business. Or not necessarily be, but what I needed to do and how I needed to act in business, instead of how I needed to be in business, because that's actually the new earth, the peaceful prosperity way. I call it the resting, dreaming, being way of relaxing into abundance. Because when we're, and it's a lot about obviously self-care, self-love, and I always say filling your own cup to overflowing so that you then have something to share, right? Because when we don't fill our cup and we just keep sharing and sharing and sharing, then our cup gets empty. And then the old way of doing and acting in business was sharing, sharing, sharing till our cup was empty, and then sharing some more until we're depleting our adrenals and we're, becoming dehydrated and forgetting to sleep, forgetting to exercise, forgetting to rest, forgetting to cuddle with the animals, forgetting to, play and be a balanced human being, right? So it's so important to fill your cup to overflowing so that you have something to give, because the overflow is what you should be giving, because then it's a no-brainer and there's zero effort, because it's just flowing, it's just fountaining. It's like the fountain of abundance cornucopying out of your abundant fountain head. That's a book. But yes, I love wordplay. Anywho, so yeah, filling your own cup to overflowing and allowing yourself space to rest and dream and be. And it's from that state of rest and dreaming and just allowing the flow of your consciousness just do its thing, and without feeling the need to control everything all the time, because that's so old earth. That's such the old way of doing and acting in business. And from that state of dreaming, actually, then your best creations start to take shape, and you start to go, whoa, if I hadn't allowed myself to be still for those moments in time, I don't even know if I would have seen this beautiful new creation that's starting to crystallize and take shape and grow branches and be a thing. And I think a lot of us used to create our business creations, services, what have you, just from a place of like, here's what we're taught how to do it, blah blah blah, fill in the blank, fill in this mold, and then put it out there and sell it. And and that, I mean, those old molds actually did work. They did work for what it's worth, but they left the practitioner, the teacher, the healer, the person giving the services, it left us feeling depleted and non-creative and probably sick to our stomachs a lot because we weren't sharing our truth from the core of who we are, from our essence, from our unique soul imprint. So peaceful prosperity is the new earth way of being in business for the messengers of the new earth. And I'm just really excited in a dreamy way to be sharing this amazing journey that's been created through me, that will really get 2018 started off in the peaceful prosperity way, where we're really unwinding ourselves from any of those old earth, heavy, dense energies and patterns and ways of thinking, and really just getting really grounded and allowing ourselves to begin to bloom in the new earth way, in the way in which we truly came here in this lifetime to be. And really letting go of any fear around that, and any fear of being who we are, living our truth, sharing our truth, the true message of our souls, right? sharing our spiritual gifts, because man, oh man, has that been a scary ride, right? To really break free of old earth bounds and ties around that. There used to be such a feeling of non-freedom around that, due to many, many, many past lives as messengers where we were punished for sharing our gifts, our spiritual gifts, and for being a spiritual messenger. That was a big no-no for many centuries, right? And many centuries. And the only reason that the people in power made that a no-no was out of fear of their own beautiful souls, and out of fear of their own beautiful gifts. So by golly, if they're not feeling comfortable sharing their gifts, then no one's allowed to share their gifts, right? So punished, banished, killed, thrown to the lions, what have you, burnt at the stake, drowned, made fun of, driven out of the villages. Bad news bears, right? just no good feelings came from that. And in this is the lifetime where we've been really processing through all of those old fears and really working that out. And I just feel so guided to just bring all of the work around that I've done, probably consciously since 2011, I think, is when I really kind of started consciously working on that for myself and with my clients. And it's been a while, and there's been many, many layers of the onion, right, that we've peeled off. And I feel like these final layers, they're very translucent, and it's not going to take a lot to finally kind of break out and peel out of these last couple, maybe even the last single layer. It depends on where you are in your journey, but you feel it, right? It's so close. It's so close. And I've been receiving visions that this is the year that we truly are going to come into our power and know with our whole consciousness that we get to decide how it's going to be for us in our businesses and for our clients also, as we support them and support ourselves and support each other in moving forward. So in this new program, new service that I've created, it's called Peaceful Prosperity. Gee, what a surprise, right? And I'm going to be working with you the entire month of January, starting on New Year's Day. And we'll probably get started a little early too, because I always open up the Facebook group early. But starting on New Year's Day and literally working every single day throughout January, working with you on so many levels. It's going to be the 5 levels of empowerment and the 5 aspects of empowerment. And the levels are soul, energy, emotions, mind, and body. And the aspects are happiness, vitality, abundance, peace, and freedom. And so we'll be working through all of those. And with the goal in mind, being, coming into our most peaceful selves in order to be our most empowered messengers, the most empowered messengers that we can be on earth, and letting go, finally throwing away all fear of being seen, letting go of all of that past life stuff, and melting away those final translucent onion layers, and just being the gold that we are, not being afraid to be that. And finally, and most especially, not being afraid to share our gold, to share our golden selves out into the world with our true tribes. And the journey is going to be deep, powerful, fun, always. There will be meditations, there will be distant healings from yours truly to all y'all. Empowerment songs, as I'm also a sound healer. I'll be sharing peaceful prosperity empowerment songs with you along the way. There will be live calls. There will be Facebook Lives. There will be direct coaching from me to you in our private Facebook group. Lots of impromptu parties and peaceful prosperity prompts in the coaching group. It's, really literally talk about a cornucopia of abundant awesomeness. And if you've ever worked with me and done stuff in Facebook, it's just always, there's always some awesomeness going on and fun things. And I'll spontaneously share little gifties and surprises as well. So yeah, you can look at the page for all the details, but I really just want you to just connect with your soul and connect with your heart and really feel there's a message within you that you're going to feel if you know that you're ready to commit to being the gold that you're here to be and to being seen as the gold that you are by your true tribe, the people you are here to support on earth in this lifetime, and stepping into their power as well. Deep breath. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So guys, I'm sharing the link below. I welcome you in, all you messengers of the new earth, you healers, coaches, teachers, artists, singers, songwriters, messengers, all. The new tribe of the Chopras, Hayes, and Dyers. We're ready to come out, ready to shine, ready to rock, ready to share our true selves with our worldly tribes. All right. I will see you inside.